You know when you film a video and you realise that it's just too much. You put far too much footage to edit, so you just start again. Hi everyone! Today I am here with a last minute video. I have decided to take part in the O.W.Ls Readathon, which is running from the 2nd to the 29th of April. It was created by G down at Book Roast. I will link her announcement video because she's going to explain this so much better than I will, but briefly, if you don't know, your O.W.Ls are your ordinary wizarding level examinations. I've even got my Slytherin shirt on. It's dark Slytherin, but whatever. There are 12 subjects and there's a challenge for each of them. You only need to read like 5 of the books to get an outstanding, but the subjects that you pick for your O.W.Ls will be the subjects you have to do for your newts. So you need to like think about what you want to like do as a career. So like I want to be a magizoologist, so obviously I need to do certain subjects that fit in with that. You don't have to pick a career, but you should pick subjects you're interested in rather than based on the challenge, if you know what I mean. There are 4 subjects that I want to do, and then the other 8 I have picked books for so that I can like have options. And yeah, we're kind of just going to dive into it because I've already filmed this and it was just getting far too long and I started again. So first of all, I have History of Magic, and for this we have to read a historical fiction book. So I have chosen The Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hess, and this basically is set in Amsterdam in 1943 and obviously during the Holocaust and all that stuff, so it's nice and short, should get through it quickly. Next we have Transfiguration, and I have 2 options for this because the first one I thought of, which is the shorter of the 2, it might just be too much. So that is, well actually I should explain. For this we have to read a book either dealing with shapeshifting or that has a cat on the cover. And I was gonna go with cat on the cover, but I remembered this book and thought it'd be a laugh. Nightlife by Caitlin Kittredge, which has a brilliant cover. And this is basically about werewolves. And the back tells me it's sexy, so it's about sexy werewolves. I don't even know why I have this. I actually have the next 2 books in the series. If this just gets too much to handle, I have a backup, which is Raised by Wolves by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is YA and still werewolves, but not on the same level as this. Then we move on to Care of Magical Creatures, which is obviously something I would need to be a magizoologist. I picked this because someone told me it had dragons in it, and I definitely have it in my head that there's dragons involved. However, The Extinction Trials by S.M. Wilson clearly states Jurassic Park. It's dinosaurs. They're not mythical. They might be magical, but we don't know, they're extinct. I mean, I could swing it and be like, I'm reading this. However, something came up for my next class, my last class that I really want to take, which is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and that involves a secret society, which I didn't have anything for, except Order of the Phoenix. And I've been rereading Harry Potter, so like, amazing, perfect. Problem: the book that I'm on the reread for is Goblet of Fire. However, there's a dragon there. So I can read this for Care of Magical Creatures, and then this for Secret Society. My only concern, they're hefty books. They're like the 2 biggest books in the entire series. So, yeah. We'll see what happens, but that's probably what's going to happen. Although, I do have a second option for this. So, this is still in the running. It depends on what you guys think of this next book. Moving on to the subjects that I'm like going to pick and choose from. First up we have potions, and for this you have to read something to do with alchemy. Now, this was impossible because I don't think I have anything with alchemy. The only thing that kept coming into my head was Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider. Schneider? Whatever. Now, I don't know if it's just the cover makes me think of alchemy. I don't know what it is, but you know, like it's not really alchemy, is it? I don't think so. But I just keep thinking of them when that word comes up. So, you guys can let me know what you think. But if you don't agree with me that this should count as alchemy, when you actually look on Goodreads at like books about alchemy, Harry Potter pops up. So I could read this for potions. The only problem is potions is like an elective class of mine. It's not one that I need to do. So if I decide I don't want to do potions, I won't be able to read my Defense Against the Dark Arts book. Do you see my struggle? It's not going well so far. I mean, I don't really care about getting an outstanding. I'm a Slytherin, not a Ravenclaw. Not that Slytherins are stupid, but you know what I mean. Like, we've got ulterior motives. We don't need our examinations. I feel like as a Slytherin, Defense Against the Dark Arts is like the one I'd really want. And I know you might disagree with me, but think about it. If I know how people are going to defend themselves, if I'm going to become a dark wizard, I'm going to know how to like counter it. Equally, I might be a Slytherin who's like, I'm going to change things. Slytherin's going to be the good guys for once. For Muggle Studies, we have to read a Muggle non-fiction book, and I have chosen I Choose to Live by Sabine Dardenne. When Sabine was 12, she was kidnapped, and as far as I know, this is like her story about when she was kidnapped and how she like got over it and all this stuff. Moving on to herbology, here we have to choose a book with something to do with nature in like the title. So I have went with Not the Only Sky by Alyssa Warren, obviously sky being the nature thing. I don't actually have a clue what this is about. I was given this from Black and White Publishing as like a thank you for doing the Dare to Fall event, and I just haven't got around to this yet, and I really want to. Like, it's not something I'd usually pick up, but that's why I want to read it, because I find that I don't know, it's just nice to kind of branch out and pick up something just way different than what you usually would. However, to be on the safe side, I do have a backup, and it still involves the word sky because I'm good like that. So I've also got Sky Song by Abby Elphinstone, and this is a middle grade series, so it's short. I absolutely loved Abby's Dream Snatcher trilogy, and I've been dying for this. I bought this like at release in January. I'm not over Maul and her story, so it's taken me so long to get into this and start reading this because it's about obviously different characters. It's on my list, so if I'm not into the other book, I can pick this up and should fly through it. Divination was stressful. You have to find a book to do with prophecies, and I'm like, I'm not picking Harry Potter because that's the other thing. You can't like mix books together. Like, you can't look at one book and say, oh well, that marks off 2 O.W.Ls. If you want 12 O.W.Ls, you gotta get 12 books. I was like, I don't think I have any books to do with prophecies. And then I remembered, well, I didn't even remember, I saw this book on my shelf. It has the word prophecy in the title, and that's Prophecy of Days by Christy Readathon. I'm sorry. This is something to do with like a Mayan calendar and like decoding stuff, and there's a mysterious Scottish boy, so you know, Scotland, me, hi. But yeah, it has the word prophecy on in the title, so I was thrilled. I was actually thrilled to find this on my shelf because I don't know what I'd have done otherwise. Moving on to charms, we have to find a fantasy book. This is more a dystopian novel, but Goodreads does have it as fantasy, and fantasy and dystopian kind of go hand in hand, so I'm going with it. And that's Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi, and I've been wanting to read this for so long, and with the 4th book coming out recently, I just thought, you know what, I should really read this series. This next one will please some people if you saw my March O.W.L crate unboxing, and this is for astronomy. Yes, astronomy. And for that we have to read a sci-fi. And I am not the biggest sci-fi lover. I've read Illumine and I did enjoy it, but I don't have Gemina, and I just don't really have many sci-fi books. I was going to pick up the March O.W.L crate book, but I remembered I have Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I have been saying for years I need to read the Lunar Chronicles series, and we got that mug in the last O.W.L crate and everyone was like, you have to read it, and I thought, you know what? It's one that I do want to read, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be, you know, it's not like space and aliens, if that makes sense. There's my sci-fi pick. Moving on to Arithmancy, we had to pick a book with a number in it or on the cover. So I went with Cell 7 by Kerry Drury. This is the most stressful thing about this, is so many of these books are like the first book in a series, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to spend so much money, but hey, it's worth it if it means I'm getting through some of my TBR. And finally we move on to Ancient Ruins, which is where you have to find a book with a symbol on the cover. I went with The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon because of this little guy on the cover, another series that I will probably have to buy the rest of the books for. I will definitely get at least 2 of my O.W.Ls. I'm hoping for more, but if March has been anything to go by, I have not been reading a lot. I've not read as much as I want to have been reading. Hopefully this readathon will kick me back into the reading mojo. That is my O.W.Ls readathon. As I mentioned, I will leave G's video down below so you can get the proper details because my explanations are ugh. I hope I do well in this. I am awful at readathons. I enjoy picking out the books and then I finish whatever I'm reading and I'm like, oh, I don't want to read any of those though. So who knows, maybe I won't read any of these and at the end of the month I'm going to be like, so I got like all 12 O.W.Ls but none of them are the TBR that I had. We'll find out. We'll see. It'll be fun whatever happens. I have 2 Harry Potter books to get to next month if things go my way. So I should go. Not that it's April and I can start reading yet. That's a good point. Can I cheat and start on the 1st of April? I'm a Slytherin, I'm allowed to cheat, right? I hope you guys liked this video. Please thumbs it up if you did. Comment below if you're partaking in this readathon. If you are, even if you're not, let me know what books you're planning to read or which books you would choose. Like what subjects you would do. If you are taking part, I hope it goes well for you. If you're not, just so you know, that means that you get a T on your O.W.L, which means troll. Thanks everyone for all your comments and your likes on my reaction video. It was so much fun. Who knows what I'll do when I get to 200 subscribers or 300 or maybe 1,000? You might want to read the description. See you guys later. Bye!